This book contains ideas that can completely transform your life if you take the time to understand them and put them into practice. Written more than 100 years ago by a man named Charles Haanel, it explains in simple, clear language how your everyday thoughts actually shape the world around you in ways you probably never realized. Most people go through their entire lives not understanding that they're constantly creating their future with their thoughts, just like an artist creates a painting one brushstroke at a time. The exciting news is that once you understand exactly how this process works, you can start creating better, happier, more successful realities for yourself deliberately instead of by accident. Let me explain how this works using everyday examples anyone can understand. Imagine your mind is like a garden. Whatever seeds you choose to plant in that garden will eventually grow. If you plant flower seeds, beautiful flowers will bloom. If you plant vegetable seeds, you'll eventually have fresh vegetables to eat. But if you let weeds grow unchecked, soon your whole garden will be overrun with them. Your thoughts work in exactly the same way. Positive, hopeful, optimistic thoughts are like those flower and vegetable seeds. They grow into good things in your life. Negative, fearful, worried thoughts are like the weeds. They choke out the good things if you let them. What most people don't realize is that they're planting weeds in their mental garden every single day without knowing it. With thoughts like, I'll never have enough money, or nothing good ever happens to me, or I'm not smart enough to succeed. Modern science has actually proven that our brains physically change shape based on what we think about most often. This amazing discovery is called neuroplasticity. When you imagine yourself doing something, whether it's playing a musical instrument or giving a speech or shooting a basketball, your brain creates new neural connections, almost as if you were actually doing that activity in real life. That's why all top athletes spend so much time visualizing their performances in great detail. They know from experience that mental practice is nearly as effective as physical practice. The incredible thing is that you can use this exact same principle for anything in your life, from doing better at your job, to improving your relationships, to becoming healthier. Here's a simple, practical way you can start using this knowledge today to begin changing your life. Every morning when you first wake up, before you look at your phone or talk to anyone else, take just 5 minutes to sit quietly by yourself and picture your day going exactly the way you want it to. See yourself handling any problems calmly and confidently, meeting friendly and helpful people, and noticing good opportunities as they appear. Most importantly, try to actually feel the happiness and confidence you would experience if these good things were really happening to you right now. This daily practice is like giving your brain a detailed map of where you want to go in life. Once your brain has this map, it will naturally start noticing and even creating opportunities to make that positive picture come true in your actual daily experiences. Another extremely important practice is becoming aware of all those automatic, negative thoughts that constantly run through your mind without you even noticing them most of the time. We all have these thoughts. Things like, I'm not smart enough to get that promotion, or I'll probably fail at this, so why bother trying that pop up automatically in certain situations. These thoughts are like those weeds in your mental garden. If you don't remove them, they'll take over. When you notice one of these negative thoughts, you can cancel it out by simply saying cancel quietly in your mind, then immediately replacing it with a positive thought like, I'm fully capable of learning whatever I need to succeed, or I'll do my absolute best and see what happens. At first this might feel strange and unnatural, but after practicing it consistently for a few weeks, it will start to feel completely normal and automatic. Your physical surroundings have a much bigger effect on your thinking than most people realize. If your home or workspace is messy, disorganized, or full of negative reminders of past failures or problems, it makes it incredibly difficult to maintain positive thoughts and attitudes. You don't need to completely reorganize your entire life overnight. That approach usually leads to frustration. Instead, start with small, manageable changes. Clean off one corner of your desk. Put up a photograph or picture that makes you feel happy and inspired. Or keep a small notebook where you write down 3 good things that happened each day before you go to bed. These small environmental changes help your mind stay naturally focused on positive possibilities rather than constantly dwelling on problems and difficulties. Many people give up on these practices too soon because they don't see immediate, dramatic results. Changing your thinking patterns works exactly like growing plants from seeds. You don't see any growth above ground right away, but crucially important changes are happening underground where you can't see them. If you keep watering and caring for your plants by consistently practicing positive thoughts and actions, they'll eventually break through the surface when the time is right. Most people need at least a full month of regular, consistent practice before they start noticing real, meaningful changes in their daily lives. Patience and persistence are absolutely essential. Financial struggles often come from hidden beliefs about money that we don't even realize we have. Thoughts like rich people are greedy and selfish, or money is extremely hard to get, actually push financial opportunities away without us being consciously aware it's happening. Try this powerful exercise. Take out a piece of paper and write down all your honest thoughts and feelings about money. Then cross out the negative ones and write new, positive beliefs like money helps me take better care of my family, or good financial opportunities come to me regularly. Keep this list where you can see it and read it every day. Over time, these new positive beliefs will gradually replace the old negative ones, and you'll start noticing positive changes in your financial situation. Your relationships with other people improve dramatically when you change how you think about and view those relationships. If you constantly think thoughts like nobody really understands me, or I'm always alone in crowds, you'll feel lonely and isolated even when you're surrounded by friends and family members. Instead, try thinking I connect easily with kind, interesting people, or I enjoy meaningful conversations with others. Then make small but important changes in your behavior. Smile more often at people. Practice really listening when others talk instead of just waiting for your turn to speak, and make a point of noticing when people are nice or helpful to you. You'll be amazed at how quickly your relationships start improving when you make these simple adjustments to your thoughts and actions. Your physical health is much more closely connected to your thoughts than most people realize. Constantly worrying about getting sick or dwelling on every little ache and pain can actually make you feel worse physically. Try this instead. Picture your body as strong, healthy, and full of energy. Tell yourself regularly, my body knows exactly how to heal itself, and I feel more energetic and alive every single day. Of course, you still need to eat nutritious foods, exercise regularly, and get enough sleep, but combining these healthy habits with positive thinking works far better than either one alone. Your mind and body are deeply connected in ways we're just beginning to understand. Most of the stress we experience comes not from our actual circumstances, but from how we think about those circumstances. When something challenging happens, asking yourself, how can I handle this effectively, works much better than thinking, why does this always happen to me, or this is a complete disaster. This simple change in your thinking patterns makes life's inevitable challenges feel much more manageable and helps you find practical solutions much faster. Stress is largely a product of our thoughts about events, not the events themselves. Getting enough quality sleep is absolutely crucial for maintaining positive thoughts and attitudes. When you're tired, your brain naturally tends to focus more on problems and worries. Try this relaxing routine before bed. Think about 3 good things that happened during your day, no matter how small or ordinary they might seem. This simple practice helps you sleep more peacefully and wake up in a better mood. If thoughts or worries keep you awake at night, keep a notebook and pen by your bed to write them down. Getting them out of your head and onto paper helps your mind relax so you can sleep. Helping other people is one of the most powerful yet underrated ways to improve your own life. When you do something genuinely kind for someone else, even something small, it changes how you see yourself and makes you feel more connected to the world around you. Look for small opportunities to help others every day. Hold the door open for someone, give a sincere compliment, offer to help carry groceries, or simply listen attentively when someone needs to talk. These small acts of kindness create positive energy that somehow always finds its way back to you, often in unexpected but wonderful ways. You can change bad habits by systematically replacing them with better ones. If you tend to snack when you're stressed, try taking 3 slow, deep breaths instead. The craving will usually pass within a few minutes if you don't give in to it immediately. Each time you resist the old habit and choose the new, healthier behavior instead, the new habit grows stronger while the old one grows weaker. Habit change is a gradual process that requires patience, but it absolutely can be done if you stick with it. Learning new things on a regular basis keeps your mind flexible, sharp, and more open to positive change. Spend just 15 minutes each day reading something uplifting or educational, or practicing a new skill you want to develop. Over weeks and months, these small daily sessions add up to tremendous improvements in your knowledge, abilities, and overall outlook on life. The key is consistency. A little bit each day works far better than occasional marathon sessions. Being consistent with these practices is far more important than doing them perfectly. Regular, imperfect practice works much better than occasional perfect practice. If you miss a day or forget to do your exercises, simply start again the next day without criticizing or blaming yourself. Real progress isn't about being perfect. It's about continuing to move forward despite occasional setbacks. Be as kind and patient with yourself as you would be with a good friend who's learning something new. Many highly successful people use versions of these methods without even realizing it. They've naturally developed habits of positive thinking and focused action that consistently create good results in their lives. The only difference is that now you can do this deliberately and consciously, rather than just by accident or intuition. You have the opportunity to take control of this process intentionally. You don't need any special talents, education, or background to make this work. Just willingness to try and patience to keep going when results don't appear immediately. Think of your mind like a muscle. The more you exercise it with positive thoughts and constructive mental habits, the stronger and more effective it becomes. Start with just one simple practice, like the morning visualization exercise, and add others gradually as you become comfortable with each one. Small, steady steps work best. Some days will feel much easier than others. That's completely normal and expected. On difficult days when you're tired or stressed, just do a shorter, simpler version of your practices. Even 1 minute of positive thinking makes a difference. The key is to maintain the habit consistently, even in small ways, until it becomes second nature. Don't let occasional challenging days derail your entire practice. After several weeks of consistent practice, you'll begin noticing small but meaningful positive changes in your daily life. More lucky coincidences, generally better moods, easier solutions to problems that would have stumped you before. These are clear signs that your mind is working differently. When you notice these changes, take a moment to acknowledge them and feel good about them. This positive reinforcement helps the changes grow stronger and become permanent. The most fundamental requirement is believing that positive change is truly possible. People transform their lives every single day using these exact ideas and methods. There's absolutely no reason why you can't be one of them. Start today with one small, manageable step and see where it leads you over time. The journey of 1,000 miles truly does begin with a single step. It's important to remember that you're not trying to control every single thing that happens in your life. That would be impossible and exhausting. Instead, you're working to create better conditions for good things to occur naturally, like a skilled farmer who prepares the soil properly and plants high-quality seeds at the right time. You're creating the optimal environment for growth and success. The actual growing happens in its own perfect timing according to natural laws you don't need to control. This process isn't about achieving perfection or never having another negative thought again. That's not realistic for anyone. Everyone has doubts, worries, and negative thoughts sometimes. The goal is gradually improving your mental habits so your default way of thinking becomes more positive and constructive over time. Each positive thought you choose is another step forward on this journey. Progress, not perfection, is what matters. You've already taken the first and most important step by learning about these powerful ideas. Now choose one simple practice to focus on this week. Write it down where you'll see it frequently on your bathroom mirror, refrigerator door, or phone lock screen, and give it an honest try. All lasting change begins with small, consistent steps, not sudden, dramatic transformations. Be patient with yourself and trust the process. Your mind possesses incredible creative power that most people never learn to use effectively. These simple but profound methods help you harness that power deliberately to create a better, happier, more successful life. The key is in your hands right now. The only question is whether you'll choose to use it consistently. The most successful people in any field aren't necessarily smarter or more talented than others. They've simply learned how to use their minds more effectively. Now you have that same knowledge and opportunity. The absolute best time to start is right now, today. Don't wait for next Monday or the first day of the month or some other arbitrary starting point that never seems to arrive. Begin today with whatever small step you can take immediately. That first step, no matter how small, is always the most important one because it gets you moving in the right direction. As you practice these methods, remember to be patient and compassionate with yourself. Changing lifelong thought patterns takes time and consistent effort. Notice and celebrate small victories along the way. They're signs you're moving in the right direction. When things go slightly better than before, take a moment to acknowledge that progress. These small successes build momentum that leads to bigger changes over time. Consider sharing what you're learning with people you care about. Teaching these concepts to others helps solidify your own understanding and commitment. Plus, when people around you start thinking more positively too, it creates an uplifting environment where everyone can thrive together. Positive energy is contagious in the best possible way. Keep things simple, especially at the beginning. Don't try to change everything in your life all at once. That approach almost always leads to frustration and giving up. Instead, pick one area of your life you'd most like to improve and focus your efforts there first. Once you start seeing positive results in that area, you can apply the same principles to other parts of your life with confidence. Remember that everyone's journey is unique. What works quickly for one person might take longer for another, and that's perfectly okay. Don't compare your progress to anyone else's. Stay focused on your own path and trust that the process works. When you work it consistently, your results will come in their own perfect timing. There will inevitably be days when it feels like nothing is working, when all your efforts seem pointless. This is completely normal and happens to everyone. On those challenging days, just do the minimum necessary to keep your habits going. The consistency of your practice matters far more than any single day's results. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Over time, as you persist with these practices, you'll gradually develop an entirely new way of seeing and experiencing the world. Problems will start looking more like interesting challenges and opportunities. Setbacks will feel more like temporary detours rather than permanent roadblocks. You'll begin noticing possibilities and solutions where you once saw only obstacles and limitations. This profound shift in perspective is perhaps the greatest gift these practices offer. The most successful people in every field understand these principles at some level, even if they don't talk about them openly. Now that you understand them too, you have access to the same powerful tools they use to create their success. How far you go with these tools depends entirely on how consistently and patiently you apply them in your daily life. The potential is unlimited. Start with small, manageable steps. Be consistent in your practice. Be patient with the process. The changes you want will come in their own perfect timing. Your future is being created by your present thoughts, so make them good ones. Make them positive ones. Make them constructive ones. The power to shape your life was inside you all along. You just needed to learn how to use it effectively. Now you have that knowledge. What will you choose to create with it? The possibilities are endless.